I'm Luke, and for the past 2 days, I've been in the foothills of Alberta, climbing steep mountains on snowshoes, cooking good food, and seeing all the fun sights that the mountains have to offer. Come along with me, it'll be a good one. All right, absolutely beautiful blue sky day here in the foothills. Okay, we've gotten up a couple 100 meters, and I'm thinking it's time to pop these snowshoes on. That up there is the peak that we're after, so we're gonna head up through here, travel along that ridge, and pitch camp up there if we can. Got some pretty steep terrain we're going up here, and this is pretty on brand for this summer. The temperature's just gone way above what was forecast, and is turning all this snow into slush, which is becoming super slippery on these inclines and very difficult to climb, especially with no trail. So it's slow going for now, but we're definitely making progress. Alright, we're getting nice and close to the objective here, just about 100 meters more in elevation. It's been a tough hike up, breaking trail the whole way. Definitely gets tiring. This bag is packed to the brim with gear, very full, very heavy. But just taking enough breaks, drinking enough water, and everything's working out. And that's where we're headed right there. Nice. So I found this spot on the saddle just adjacent to the peak that we're hiking to over there. And it feels like this is a relatively wind-blocked area. So I can see the big gusts happening right through the center of the saddle here, but here we've got a couple trees backing up on us, and it seems like it might be a decent place to pitch camp. So I'm going to drop my bag, lighten the load, and we're going to have a little walk up there, see the sights. Got some bighorns up ahead here. Oh, I love these guys. Yip, yip. Yip. cache. I don't know anything about this. Pretty well traveled, but we haven't seen anybody here since February 2nd. March 2nd now. All right, back in the spot. Yeah, that. It seems to block the wind pretty well. About to settle in, get on it, and get after making some real good stew, some beef stew. That's gonna be great, but before that happens, I just had to come back out onto this open saddle and just, golly. That's just quite beautiful. Yeah. Alright, we got our liquid fuel stove here. Because I was expecting it to be a little colder. I probably could have gotten away with a little propane stove, but butane stove, whatever that gas is. This one's fun anyways. It's got a little more power to it, so you can boil more water if that's what your water source is. Okay, we got some really solid grub that we're gonna make happen today, but first things first is we probably gotta just melt a little bit of water so we have stuff to drink and to cook our food with. So pop that in there and we'll get this stove started. All right, well that's going. I'm gonna get started on my stew. It's the only knife that I've got right now. Got our steak all cubed up. Time to get our veggies all cubed. All right, water's done. Here's the protocol. I've got this little container, and what it has is flour, butter, a little more flour in there. Okay, got a couple of bouillon packs. Get all of that incorporated. All right, stew's on a simmer over there. I think it's time to start figuring out our camp. And I've chosen up here on this, it's kind of a slope, but it's actually right behind these trees, and so the wind is going to be way less of an issue as if we were over here on the really flat area, but very windswept. So all I've done is I've kind of scraped some snow over and piled it up on this side. And it's not that level, but this trough here will be good enough for me to sleep in. You know, I won't be uncomfortable in that, and my sleeping pad is nice and fat, so that'll help as well. Yeah, let's get it pitched. Okay, so I might have had a little too much confidence in my stake job there. So what I did was I tied the corners onto my snowshoes and then buried them in a ton of snow. So hopefully that'll anchor them down pretty good. But yep, that's not so bad. This has been a really good stew. The next order of business is putting some snow around the perimeter of this to sort of bury the edges so that the wind can't give it lift. And that'll help it steady in the wind. I absolutely gorged myself on that stew. I had some really dubious gas station shawarma wrap for breakfast, and I had to pick through to find the one that wasn't expired in there. And since then, nothing. So that's an upgrade right there, I'll say. Shit. Sunsets are real beautiful out here. Well, the sun is just about to set. I think I might hop into the tent and start getting cozy. Feeling good and cozy. Oh. Oh, boots are a little frozen here. Looks like maybe a coyote had a little walk by here this morning. That's pretty cool. Got ourselves a little omelet here. Yum. Forming just a little flatbread here. It's like a crumpet or something. That's gritty and tarry, just like a good cup of Mountain Brew should be. Hey. And we're off again. What kind of tracks do we have here? Big fat wolf, maybe? Some kind of big dog. Holy smokes. That's like a sizable paw print right there. Wow. I'm on the trail of this big herd of bighorn sheep. They were heading the same direction I am. I'm gonna take my snowshoes off for a bit here for this thin ridge walk. Whew. That's lucky. Just dropped my water bottle off of that. Could have gone the distance, but stopped in this tree. There is a wolf in these mountains, no doubt. And you can tell it's a dog, not a cat, because a wolf or a coyote will walk with its claws out and they'll make imprints in the snow. But a cat, they walk with their claws retracted. that was a fun little trip. If you made it this far, then make sure to subscribe. Check out a few of my other videos if you feel like it, and I'll see you next time.